Good evening, everybody. Give me just a second and we'll get underway. There we go. Melody, what do you show for time?
My phone says it is 6:30, 6:31.
That's as is mine. Okie dokie. Okay, good evening, everybody. It is 6:31 on the warm 1st of June, 2021, and we will call our city council meeting to order for June 1st. First item on our agenda this evening is the approval of the minutes from city council from May 25.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from D and a second from Merja.
I think it was Major.
Major Merja. From Councilman Major, sorry about that. Any changes or corrections that anyone can see? Hearing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes will stand approved. Any changes in who's going to be out of state? Nope. I may travel to Eastern Montana this week. We'll see what the doctor says Thursday. I have to go to Plains on Monday night, Hooker Crook, so we're going. But they'll just be overnight trips if I go. They're not prolonged trips, okay? And I'll let Councilman D know what's going on. We have no unfinished business on the agenda, so we'll move right into new business. And that first item is to appoint Teton County Conservation District Board appointment for Mr. Ross Salmon. He would be the representative from within the city limits of Choteau. I've spoke with Ross and Ross is good to go. This isn't a train job.
Mr. Mayor, at the risk of being annoying, can you explain what the Conservation Board does?
The Conservation Board oversees several of the permitting processes for farmers and ranchers throughout the county, the 310 permits for access to creeks and other water sources, and oversees some additional duties that the Conservation District takes care of.
Thank you.
Sorry, my lips aren't working. Any other questions?
I move we approve Mr. Salmon for the Conservation District.
I have
Second.
a motion from Councilman D,
Second.
and that was Councilman Merja.
Yes, it was.
I have a motion from Councilman D and a second from Councilman Merja to approve Ross Salmon, sorry, stand corrected. Too many Rosses that are involved. Ross Salmon as the city representative to the Teton County Conservation District Board, and his term will run through end of calendar year 2024. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll get a letter out to Ross and to Nancy at the Conservation District, let her know that this was taken care of. My apologies, it should have been done sooner, but it fell through the cracks. Next item on the agenda tonight is the zoning board appointments. There are 5 positions on the board. All have been spoken to and all have consented to take this appointment. We're looking at Jim Bama, Mark Walker, Carol Cole, Jerry Long, and Al Kostelnik. And Mark would be taking the place of, correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say Chad Eckergren, who has left the community or is leaving the community. Questions? Councilman Merja.
So the zoning board is not something you have to be a city resident to be on?
No. They're
Okay.
within the donut anyways. And Al was on it. And to me, the expertise that he can bring is something that I kind of enjoy or kind of like having there to lean on.
Right.
in his
I
job.
just checking.
I move we approve these board appointments for the zoning board.
I have a motion
Second.
from Councilman D. And was that you, Councilman Burja?
Yes.
And a second from Councilman Burja on the zoning board appointments.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, go, Mr. Councilman Major.
you might have already said this, but what's the term of these?
It's like the firm, Councilman Major. No one ever leaves the firm.
Okay,
The Hotel
Sounds good to me.
California.
Exactly. The Hotel California. They can check in, they can never leave. If I'm not mistaken, these are 2-year terms, but I will double check with Jody.
no worries.
And- What's that?
I'm good to vote. I was just
Okay.
curious.
I think in a more designed world, they would be stair step, Councilman, but I don't think we've ever had them stair step. From looking back through the minutes, it's always been a 5-person board appointee at one time. And the odd person that you would get would be because somebody passed away or moved out of town and we had to replace that he or she. And then when the board came up for reapproval, it was just a board wide thing that time as well. So. But I will log some effort into that in the morning with Jody and then let you know for sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? We will get our letters out to the zoning board people and let them know that they have an agenda, they have an item on the table, and we'll have a meeting for them lined up later in the month. Next item are claims. The largest one that seems to stick out there out of the ordinary would be at-home flooring, and that was for the new flooring put in City Hall. And we were told that this would hold up significantly better than the last stuff that we had on there. So it is in. Everybody's got their chairs are now on floor mats to make it a little bit easier on the flooring. I think we're set except for one kiddie desk that we have to replace and get an adult size desk in there. But I would tell you to come take a peek, and when you walk through, you'll see the kiddie desk. There's no doubt about it. And we're working with Rhett in Great Falls at Office Solution 360. He has some used desks that he was going to see what he could do to come up with and kind of make us a nice, a better deal than we would if we have to go buy a brand new one. Let's just put it that way.
I move approval of the claims.
I have a motion from Councilman D
Second.
and a second from Councilman Merja. Any other questions on here, Mel? Anything?
No
No?
questions for me.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? We will get the claims paid. I was expecting a member of the public on tonight, but I see she's not here. I did send her a link, but I will find out and see if I can catch up with her for the next one. You're going to see some activity up on airport, up at the country club as they start fencing off the water towers this week. The one call I saw was laying there today to get everything marked so that the fencing guys could get underway up on the hill. We are tentatively scheduled again for 15th of June, but we may have to go sooner. And Mel, I would let you know. We're waiting for rural development to let us know our funding is ready. And as soon as it's ready, I want to get everybody together within 48 hours and get a resolution so that we can accept those funds and get that process for the wastewater underway. Okay. So I'm just giving you a heads up to expect probably 3 meetings this month, whether it's 1 and 15 and then a time after that or prior to that. If we go between now and 1 and the 15th, we may push them one on the 15th back to a later date in the month so that we're not back to back to back to back to back. Okay. Any questions or comments out there, council members?
I have a question, actually. This was a request and a suggestion by Melody for the upcoming housing conference. There are quite a few lots in the original town site, kind of the older parts of town, that are double lots next to each other that aren't buildable currently. And just because of the way that the kind of new zoning stuff worked out, they're just not feasible. Is there a way to pull a list of those spaces? Is there an easy way to do that without going on Cadastral and Google Maps and looking at that?
Actually, Steve, if there are 2 lots and they've had a home on them and they're in Choteau Original and they're 2 lots, they are buildable.
That was where I was going.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Choteau Original is a 6,000 square foot minimum to build on, where everything else is 9,000 square feet.
Perfect. Thank you.
So, thanks, Jody. So yeah, I know that there are some out there that look that are possible to do that. Choteau Original is a very small portion of the town, but a home on a 6,000 square foot lot would fit in with the original footprint, and it wouldn't look out of place or anything like that.
Perfect.
Anything else?
Move to adjourn.
Hearing nothing further, I got a motion to adjourn. We will go 1:15 or 6:15 at 6:30, pending anything from rural development to get us going. And Mel, we'll make sure that when we find out, we'll get it to you so we get it posted, get our notices out there and go from there. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
We're staying on Zoom.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on Zoom till the end of the month, and then we'll go back to in-person meetings at City Hall. I'm thinking in July, because we'll have everything back to normal there. We have a little bit to clean up in the council members' room, but we'll have that ready so that they can have their zoning board meeting there later this month as well. Okay.
All right.
All right,
All right.
folks. Have a good evening.
Bye, everyone.
Go
See you
have ice
guys.
cream. Bye.